Hey school!
Our school!
Sent a really clear message that Harris wasn't our preferred option. They weren't welcome here. We wanted our school to remain a community school and be given the time to improve. However, what did they do? They ignored us. They didn't pay any attention to us whatsoever. Our Brent councillor, the cabinet member Gwen Gryle, wrote her own letter. Hasn't even had a response. No, exactly, shame. It's disgraceful that they think they can ignore us and push on with this corrupt process. It really is a rigged game. The people that have decided upon the future of our school are all academy head teachers themselves. There's been no balance, they haven't given us any consideration. We put in freedom of information requests to try and get some information back, and we'll see what we can do. But we need to keep pushing on. We've also, in a petition, less than 3 weeks, we had over 1,000 people sign it. That really shows you the strength of feeling, yeah? Thank you. We've submitted that to Brent Council. I attended their cabinet meeting on Monday, and we were really clear that the council needs to step up as well. And already we've seen on Friday, last Friday, Councillor Gryle write to the DfE, push for what we've asked for. We asked for time for the school to improve, time for the rapid improvement group to actually meet, to actually make these things happen in the school. They've said that extra resources are going to go into the school, extra leadership capacity being built in from this term. That needs to be given time to have the effect it needs. And she's asked for the academisation process to be paused. So we shall see. It's the same like Barry Gardner. Barry Gardner wrote his own letter calling for the same thing too, backing us. So these things are happening, but we need to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. I know many of you are probably feeling quite down and you're disappointed that this is happening anyways. No, it should embolden us more. We have to keep fighting this off, this corrupt government and this corrupt process, to make sure that we have our say in things. Right, the next speaker I've got is Simon from the Anti-Academies Alliance. He's been really helpful with our campaign group so far, and give him a big hand for coming down all the way to support us here today. Cheers.
Right, well, I'll try to be brief. I won't be as brief as Emma was. I'm just feeling a bit jealous that I don't have one of those fantastic yellow t-shirts. They're just wonderful, and it's so lovely to see all you gorgeous children here with your mums and your dads and your uncles and your carers. Look, we all know, you all know, that academisation was wrong from the start. I'm from the Academies Alliance. We've been fighting this for 20 years. We won't stop fighting it, and most of my teaching career was in Islington and Hackney, and I always used to think that Islington and Hackney were the best boroughs, but to be honest, about 3 or 4 years ago I stood in protests in Brent outside that wonderful village school with Jenny and Hank and Martin and Jean, and here we are again 3-4 years later, still fighting for what's right, and of course we've got Hank and Jean and Jenny and Martin still here, and Tom and Alice in there, who's doing a fantastic job with the NEU members, and so many parents that I've seen on the campaign WhatsApp group. Look, let's be serious. Wherever Ofsted turn up, there's a nasty smell. But having looked at the details of what Ofsted have come in and said and done about your wonderful primary school, there's a particularly nasty smell about it all. And the fact that you've kept this campaign going, don't in any way be disheartened. You know what? You've won. Win or lose, you've won. Because you've stood up for your school. Not their school, you've stood up for your school, and you've stood up for your community. Academisation has no answer. I don't need to repeat all the arguments about Harris. You've got a CEO at the moment on £500,000 a year, while schools are squeaking for every single penny to meet our gorgeous children's needs. You've got 1,000 staff of Harris Matt at the moment in dispute with Harris. Why? With a CEO on £500,000 a year? Because they refuse to pay properly. They refuse to pay properly to the educators who are looking after their children in Harris. Harris is not the answer for Byron Court. I'm sure you will continue to fight to keep Byron Court part of Brent's family of schools. We want inclusive schools, we want accountable schools, we want democratic schools. And that's what Byron Court is. So honestly and truly, keep fighting for your community school. It's your school. But most of all, it's a school that's responsive to your children's needs. And whether Harry's come up with their bull, Harry's come up with their fibs, Harry's come up with their lies, nothing can meet the needs of your children better than a local authority community school. And so keep fighting, everybody, and the next time there's a protest, I'll come down again from Warwick. And charity, everybody, keep going, don't give up. You've won in so many ways, and you know what? You really can win this. And you know what's brilliant for the NEU and the staff? When they know parents and the community are with them. There have been so many battles where, to be honest, they've fizzled out because the wonderful staff just didn't feel that the parents and the community understood why they were fighting, and they became demoralised. Well, from everything I'm hearing, everything I'm seeing, Byron Court educators aren't feeling that. They know you're here, and it doesn't half keep them going. So keep going, everybody. Solidarity to you all. Whatever lies Harry's might come up with, keep fighting. Good luck.
Byron Court!
Happy Board!
Byron Court!
Happy Board!
Brent Trades Council brings together trade unions across the borough, working with communities around services, around our job rights, which is why we support the opposition to academisation of the schools, because we know that, like in other services, academisation is essentially privatisation, driving down of our services, allowing some people to give off profits, and a big attempt to push down the jobs, the service, the rights of the staff, all the workers in the school. So we stand in solidarity with you. We hope that we can keep up the pressure to stop academisation, both here and in the other schools coming up for it. So solidarity, I won't speak for ages.
Save Byron Court! Save Byron Court! Save Byron Court! Save Byron Court!
I want to convey my full support and solidarity to all the staff, parents and all other campaigners.
This is such an important campaign. I know our NEU members are going to be balloting on Friday, as well as take strike action over this. Are any NEU members here, or are they all still? They're in. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you know, we'll be. I know Jenny will be working really, really hard with them for them to stand alongside you in this campaign. And I just want to say thank you and solidarity, and we're looking forward to hearing about your victory, because when you stand up for yourselves, you stand up for all of us. It's not just your school you're saving, it's the wider education system, and that's so important. So when they say whose schools, we say our schools. So when I say whose schools, can you all say our schools? Whose schools?
Our schools!